Welcome to our coverage of ASUG Annual Conference in Sapphire Now 2014. We're in the ASUG Knows studio, sponsored by NTT Data, and today I'm delighted to be joined by a couple gentlemen. We're going to talk about single instance ERP at UCB. Hey, there's some good acronyms in there. So to my right here, Andrei Krutnitsky from UCB, welcome.
Thank you, Tom. Hello.
I know you've been looking forward to this for weeks. So
I've been looking forward to that very much, yes.
You're going to be a star after this.
We already started.
That's right. And Kevin Moore as well, welcome, independent consultant who was integral into the project at UCB.
Thank you, Tom.
So let's talk a little bit about this. First, can we start off with UCB? For those who aren't familiar with, what is UCB?
Yes, Tom, UCB is a global biopharma company, established in 1920, but in pharmaceutical business for probably about 20 years. Global headquarters is in Brussels, Belgium, and the US headquarters in Atlanta. Have about 8,000 employees worldwide. Major products is Cimzia for Crohn's disease and rheumatoid arthritis, Vimpat for epilepsy, and also the Nupro for the Parkinson's and restless leg syndrome. UCB is SAP customers from 1996.
Oh wow, way back.
Yes.
So you got a pretty big portfolio there right now?
Yes, we do.
That's great.
So
let's talk about, for a lot of companies, especially companies who've been around since '96, moving to a single instance, you always hear about that being the desired goal, the end state. Kevin, what are the reasons for actually doing this, for investing the time and the serious resources to actually make this happen?
It's a unique opportunity to be able to consolidate the system landscape. The company saw it as a strategic opportunity to be able to align, and our project was based on the North American entities, so we had US, Canada, and Mexico. We had 7 sites, 12 functional domains, SD, MM, FICO, et cetera, manufacturing, QM, et cetera. And we had the 7 sites in there, and we were running on 3 different 4.7 legacy systems. So as you can imagine, if you're one of the users, you might be logging into one or more of those systems. If you're in North America, a number of our users may have logged into 2 different systems with different designs, different charts of accounts, et cetera. Globally, 3 different systems feeding into the financials, created its own challenges, for all the mapping. It was all 3 though were running in a very stable way. So, but this was an opportunity to harmonize processes. So we set out in the beginning to go to a 6.0 platform with a common global template for both processes and data. So we could also be able to give the users a better experience and also be able to get products to patients much quicker. As it being a pharmaceutical company, it was an opportunity to improve manufacturing, improve the supply chain, and improve financials because products move across the world. So doing that across 3 different landscapes is much more difficult doing it, even though we were doing it on one system provides a lot of inherent efficiencies, and that's what the project was all about. So a big effort and resulted in a number of improvements, and then you get in the other things around, hardware simplification, et cetera. So it definitely simplified the user experience and optimized a lot of the processes and data so that we had a single source of the truth in a lot of the cases for the data instead of having multiple databases.
You said a big project, so that's a little bit of an understatement, probably, correct? I mean, that sounded massive, which you summed up in about a minute.
Yeah. Well, we took about 18 months, and we had over 100 business and IT people involved.
Wow.
And we had teams in North America, and we worked with our global counterparts as well to accomplish it.
Well, you bring up the process part of it, people, process, and technology, of course. I'm always intrigued by when you talk about global and then bringing it all together, you've got to work with people all over the world. How do these teams work together? What's your kind of advice for getting these global groups to see the vision and buy into it and work together?
So it starts at the top management. The executive leadership started and decided to do it as a strategic project, number 1. So they cascaded that throughout their organization, saying this is a priority. And then as we built the teams, as we went through in our sessions, we had team leads, both on the SAP side and the business side. This was not an IT-only project. This was a joint partnership between business and IT. Business had a strong say in what we were doing, and we did it all together from start to finish. I don't know if Andre, if you had anything other things you want to add.
Yes, so business participation, business buy-in participation, very, very critical. Also the strong business resources with knowledge of the company processes and also with SAP strong knowledge. So that was also the key. And as Kevin mentioned, that business team leads from business and IT working together locally and globally on both levels. This is the key to the success.
So sharing, I mean, how close, when you say, you always kind of hear that. So what does that mean in principle? Are they sharing space? Are they constantly communicating? How does that work?
So that was we set up the governance model. We had constant communication. We had global meetings. We shared the space. We were flexible to work with business. Very important to be flexible, to be prepared for the meeting with business and show the value. So that was, multiple components to the success.
Wow.
And if I may add to that, the project had a very good rhythm, I like to call it. When we're doing these projects, been working in the SAP world now nearly 20 years, and this one had a very good rhythm. We had regular meetings, not to have just a meeting, but we had IT, SAP meetings. We had meetings with the business every week. We had regular steering committee meetings, and we had that cadence going throughout the project, so people kind of sort of knew when to expect a meeting and how it happened, and so it worked out really well.
Rhythm is a great word. You don't hear that too much. Some of the projects go up and down, but sounded like you guys had that.
Yeah, that's what worked for us, and no project is ever perfect. You can do it better, but that was one of the things that. And we also leveraged a tool like Link, if I can throw that out there, Microsoft Link as a communication tool for us. So we had our meetings via that, and we kept in constant communication even if we weren't sitting next to each other. That tool allowed to bring us closer together, even inside and outside of meetings.
Great.
And we also manage different time zones because the global team is in Belgium. We had the team in the US, in Atlanta, also in the different sites. We had 7 sites. And also we had the team in Asia, in India. So we managed time zones and succeeded.
That's great. So results, right? Let's talk results. What do we have?
Yeah, so we did go live on January 1st of 2012 with all 3 countries, with all 7 sites across 12 domains. So we had successful go live. We moved 750 users into one single instance from 3 systems. We had the hypercare. Hypercare, it's intensive after go live support, so we had it as planned. We had also project resources rolled off on time based on our plan, so to save some money. And very important, most critical, business continuity. From there, we didn't have any business interruptions since we went live on the day 1st. We also, couple things I can highlight. We brought some new features to some sites. Warehouse radio frequency.
Oh, cool.
For the warehouse, we brought also the PI sheets. It's a production instruction sheets for the manufacturing. This is also a new feature we brought. And we also streamlined processes and provided consistent data across 7 sites with the global system. So it was big success.
So on January 2nd, 2012, you probably were really happy, right?
We were happy on January 1st, on January 2nd, and till now.
That's great. So each of you, before I let you go, what's the one kind of lesson learned that you would, you're here at ASUG, you're an ASUG member comes up, said, we're just starting this. Kevin, maybe I'll start with you. What would be your one lesson learned, you'd say?
After you have the top management support from your company, I think picking the right people for your teams.
Yeah.
Having the right resources and the right roles is critical to making this work. And then you have people that prefer to work on data and people that work on process. So even dividing those roles into making sure you get the right fit for those roles. So fitting the right people to the right roles for the project is a key one for me.
Great.
Okay, and from my side, you have to always expect some issues. Expect some issue, but be flexible. Look for the solution. Don't think about the issue. Look for the solution, how to efficiently fix the situation. And always recognize hard work. A lot of people working very hard, and always recognize the team, always recognize the people, what they did during the project and after.
That's great. We forget about that, right? It's all about the technology and the business results, but there are people working their butts off.
No. Technology, it's machines, it's metal, it's stones, etc., etc. Right. So, but people are people, and very important to recognize people.
Great. Well, gentlemen, thank you for coming in, being patient here today. It was great to have you in the studio.
Thank
We
you.
appreciate it. Thank you very
Yeah,
much,
thank you very
Tom.
much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. For more SAP customer stories, please go to asugnews.com.